Happy Wednesday, Houston. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro. I'm going to give you a detailed look at the weather forecast because it's a big weekend. We've got Easter Sunday and I have a few updates to tell you about. Right now, 78 degrees at Bush Intercontinental Airport. Here's a shot from Hotel Zaza looking towards Mr. Houston at Herman Park. It's nice and comfortable. There's a south breeze out there right now at 9 miles an hour. Because it's a south wind, it is increasing humidity. So we're almost into the 60s, which is putting us in that muggy territory. Comfortable feel is dew points in the 50s. So we're starting to get there. Current wind gusts right now, 22 miles an hour for Huntsville. Breezy though, closer to College Station, the gusts getting up to almost 30 miles an hour. Hobby Airport 21. So that's going to be a big trend throughout the day and really into the remainder of the work week. Breezy afternoon. Look at the gust at 4 o'clock, right around 20 miles an hour area wide. Tomorrow it's going to be a little bit more breezy, so I'll stop the clock there 4 on your Thursday. Gust at 25, getting close to 30 miles an hour. Conroe to Brenham to Hobby and even down to Sugar Land and Galveston. You'll notice on Friday it's the same thing, so a mostly dry forecast if you don't count the humidity. That's it from now all the way through Friday. A mixture of sun and clouds out there and increasing warmth. So today's high temperature is 83 degrees. Tomorrow we'll bounce it up to 87. A few more clouds out there tomorrow. And we hold on to the cloud cover for your Friday and crank up the heat ever so slightly. We're looking to get to 90 degrees for your Friday. Humidity looks like this. So we started off in the 50s today, comfortable. We're starting to nudge into that humid territory, dew points again in the 60s. That continues for Friday, for Saturday, Sunday. Then behind Sunday, because we have a front that's coming in, we'll see a little dip in the humidity, but you'll notice it cranks right back up for Tuesday. So that's pretty typical for Houston. We know to expect warmth and humidity this time of year, and it's spring, so we also expect some showers. Here's a look at the rain potential over the next 5 days. So this takes a snapshot right at 5 o'clock in the afternoon as to what the predicted moisture content is going to be for us. You'll notice nothing tomorrow. Friday, it's the very light green, which is actually just humidity. Maybe a sprinkle here and there, but I'm thinking it's just humidity. Saturday, 20% chance, so a few sprinkles in there. And then Sunday, a 40% chance for some showers and maybe a few storms. You'll notice it's not very bright. The reflectivity is just green. However, again, this takes a snapshot at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm thinking the majority of the moisture is going to come in for the late morning hours. So just take that into consideration. And then Monday, again, might have to increase those rain chances there. 30% as of now. As we get closer to the time frame, we'll be able to fine tune the details, but we want to give you at least a general idea as to what to expect. Easter Sunday forecast, I've raised the rain chances now to 40%. And again, late morning to midday storms, that's the highest likelihood. Could you still see a few showers for your evening plans? Yes, but the bulk of the moisture is going to come in for the first half of the day. 86 degrees will be your high temperature. You're going to have that breeze out of the south at 10 to 15 miles an hour, so it's going to feel pretty muggy too. Are you traveling across the Lone Star State to get to your family for Easter? Well, here's the forecast for that. It's going to be breezy today into tomorrow and Friday, pretty much everywhere in Texas. So from the Panhandle to El Paso, cloud cover for San Antonio, for Dallas, down to South Texas, Corpus, towards Brownsville, pretty breezy there too. A few isolated sprinkles possible on Friday, especially if you are going to Dallas or traveling along the I-35 corridor. Saturday is going to be a pretty active day across the state. A few showers moving into Amarillo and a couple of storms traveling from Dallas down the I-35 corridor, which could be on the strong to even severe side, especially late Saturday night into very early Sunday. By late Sunday morning and into the afternoon, the shower potential comes down to Houston. And again, we turn pretty unsettled even into next week with additional rain chances. Severe threat looks like this. So on Saturday, it's north of us. So Dallas, Waco, Austin to San Antonio, Texarkana, pushing into Louisiana as well. And then for Sunday, you'll notice the severe threat as it continues to push towards the east, eclipse us down here in southeast Texas. So the counties highlighted for that, the eastern portion of Washington and a little part of Austin, Grimes, Waller, Montgomery, Walker, San Jacinto, Polk, Liberty. And now it also includes northern Harris County. So do you live in Tomball? Do you live in Atascocita? Perhaps getting down not quite to the beltway or the loop, but it does encompass the woodlands and the spring area. So keep that in mind. You do have at least a 15% chance of seeing some strong to severe storms with this upper level low that's swinging through here. So one more time, the timing for this strongest storms in Dallas is going to be for Saturday, and then Sunday morning we get this remnant moisture here pushing into Houston, and it's not out of the question that it does hold together some strength by the time it gets to us too. So just keep an eye on that. If you can download the KHOU app and we do get an alert, we'll be able to send this straight to your phone. Are you doing any travel across the country? So for tomorrow, quite a bit of snow from Billings down to Colorado. Friday, some of that snow starts to drop down to the mountains in Arizona and in New Mexico. A couple strong storms again for Dallas and further north into Oklahoma and the Great Lakes region too. So those are going to be some of the areas that might see some flight delays. And then Sunday, while we do have the shower activity that we're tracking here in Houston, the majority of the energy is still lifting towards the north. So pushing a little bit closer towards Missouri, pushing into Nebraska, and away from us. So we're not going to see a ton of accumulation with this system that rolls in this weekend. You'll notice for Saturday, very light potential. For Sunday, it stays in the green. So that would mean maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain up to about 1/2 inch, and that's it for most spots. Could there be isolated areas to get heavier downpour? Sure, but the general consensus is we're not going to get a ton of rain, not like Dallas at least, for now. But if I fast forward through Sunday night and into Monday night, you'll notice now we're starting to get those 1, 2, maybe isolated 3 inches of rainfall. So we'll definitely see some rounds of rain as we head into next week, and rain is going to be a welcome sight when we've got allergy levels like this. Yesterday we were in the double digits, so it was a good improvement for the count. Today we are well into the triple digits, especially for oak. Oak count is above 500. Grasses are high, moderate weeds and moderate mold spores, but I know allergies are affecting quite a few of us today. The Neighborhood Weather Network shows temperatures West U Sunset Boulevard 83 degrees already, but a lot of us in the upper 70s. Cypress Point 79 degrees. I think because of the cloud cover, the areas that don't see the clouds break are going to hover in the upper 70s to low 80s. And then if you do see more sunshine, you'll make it into the mid 80s. But right now, 78 degrees at Bush, 77 for Galveston. It is so pretty in Galveston. Here's a shot at Pleasure Pier. Oh man, I wish I could make today a beach day. It is nice and clear over there, 77, but it feels like 79 because the dew points, again, are in the 60s. This afternoon, your high temperature at Bush makes it up to 83 degrees. If you're on one of those spots that's getting a lot of sunshine, maybe you make it up to 85 for today. Mixture of sun and clouds throughout the evening, sunset time right at 8 o'clock. We'll see a mixture of sun and clouds for today, 68 degrees downtown, Tomball 66, 64 for Huntsville. So your overnight is going to be a little bit warmer. We're going to progressively start to see a few more clouds building in this evening. And then tomorrow it'll be about 50-50, the ratio for sun to clouds. We continue to see a south breeze pushing in, so it'll feel warm. That feeling just escalates on your Friday. Mostly cloudy at this point, muggy and breezy. So let's spend some time on the 7-day forecast to walk you through some of the changes. So today is a pretty average day. Average high temperature for this time of year should be 80 degrees. We'll be just a few degrees above that. Thursday, we could say safely that it's pretty warm for this time of year. 87 degrees with some humidity. You'll see that humidity by way of cloud cover tomorrow. Mostly cloudy again for your Friday and definitely warm, 90 degrees. Then we start to see those rain chances come into the forecast. 20% on your Saturday. 40% for your Easter Sunday. We're tracking some scattered storms, maybe a couple that could be on the strong side, especially north of Houston. Monday, 30% chance for some isolated storms. And again on Tuesday, we'll start to see the potential of a few more scattered storms in the mix. We're going to be accumulating more rainfall as we head into next week. And you'll notice once we start to see those rain chances come into the picture, that's when we start to see those temperatures drop down a little bit. So we'll have some rain-cooled air next week to look forward to. You'll definitely need your umbrella, and you might need to be flexible with those Easter plans. Check back in tomorrow for another update.